And here is Sammy's guest host for the evening, Johnny Carson.
Thank you. And may the bird of paradise build a nest out of Sammy Davis's contract. I thank you for coming tonight. As you know, Sammy Davis did the first show. And it made him even a bigger star, if it's possible, than he was before, which was too bad, because they couldn't afford him this week. And I am filling in. Actually, the first show was wonderful. It was kind of a television first. It was the first time that Liz Taylor and Richard Burton, the Mamie and Ike of Peyton Place, were on television, and it's kind of a tough act to follow. You know, how do you follow Taylor and Burton? I thought maybe tonight I would book Van Doren and Mansfield. But Charles Van Doren and Senator Mansfield were busy. On the first show, it was kind of interesting. Elizabeth Taylor came out, and she got a, tremendous hand. The audience went wild. And then she says, Burton came out, and she said, I'd like to introduce my husband. And Burton said, Where? Unfortunately. Actually, it's kind of, I'm sometimes mistaken. I don't know if you know this or not. And you may find it hard to believe. I'm sometimes mistaken for Richard Burton. Unfortunately, not by Mrs. Burton. But it's a new year. We're just a few days into the new year, and it's kind of fun to look forward to 1966. And I don't know about you, but I have kept all of my New Year's resolutions. You make resolutions? I've kept mine. I have not had my ears pierced. I have not done any skydiving, and I haven't roughed up Cassius Clay at all. So I'm staying with it. Now, a lot of people are wondering what's going to happen in television in 1966. It's been kind of a strange year. I am thinking of doing a new series, and I'm taking a tip from the shows that were on last year. I figure if I do a series, I can do one that can't miss. I plan to play a rich hillbilly spy who has 2 years to live, disguises himself as a rock and roll singer married to a pregnant witch. Now, if you've been watching television for years, you are probably getting a little tired of a few things that are on television all the time. And in 1966, I would like to see a few things happen just once on television. Now, let's talk about commercials. Wouldn't you like just once in 1966 to see Katie Winters walk into a room and everybody get up and run out the door? And one of the fondest things I would like to look forward to, just once, if the Jolly Green Giant would step on the Doublemint twins. Now, I don't know about you, but I am getting awful sick and tired of that drunk in the suit of armor riding the white horse, through the neighborhood, with his big lance, shish-kebabbing everybody. And he gallops by and he goes, zing, and everybody turns white. And he rides up and they say, what happened? What happened? Once before I die. I hope he rides by, and there on the corner is Sammy Davis Jr. Zing! That might happen. Now, New York has had... This has been a great year for New York in 1965. Let's see, we have an air pollution problem, right? There's a water shortage, subway and bus strike, and we had a blackout. New York may be a summer festival, but it's a winter disaster area. We have a new mayor in New York, Mayor John Lindsay, and I think we all back here wish him well. And he's made a promise to New Yorkers, and I think you'll be happy to know this, that there will be 1,000 more policemen riding the subways in 1966, which I think is great. Now, if you're just lucky enough to get on that particular car, you don't think they're going to split up, do you, and ride along? Oh, no. They're also thinking, because of the water shortage, of pumping the Hudson River. Does that thrill you? I wouldn't swim in the Hudson River, much less drink it. Oh, Lindsay has a solution, I understand, for the traffic problem, which is very bad back here. Once and for all, it's going to solve it. He plans to put a sign up at the Lincoln Tunnel. It says, full, try Philadelphia. Of course, there may be a couple of well-known weddings of celebrities in 1966. Now, they've been wondering about Frank Sinatra, and rumor has it that he might possibly this year marry Mia. And I don't know whether you know it or not, but Frank has introduced Mia Farrow's mother to his mother. which must have been a strange meeting. You see, Mia's mama, Mamma Mia. You folks at home probably wondering why we're not using a live audience here. And as you know, Lucy Baines Johnson, the president's daughter, is engaged. And there's a plan, I understand, for a June wedding. And the president himself has announced that in probably just a few short years, there will be a little stranger in the White House. Bobby Kennedy sent him a telegram thanking him for his endorsement. I think, you know what I think we're going to find in 1966? Everything is changing. Morality seems to be changing. The law is changing. Religion is changing. And I think it's all for the better. As a matter of fact, I'm sure you're familiar that Pope Paul has announced that possibly there will be a decree handed down that Catholics will soon be able to eat meat on Friday. Now, it's caused a little problem in the fish industry. I hear that Charlie the Tuna just turned Presbyterian. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this show tonight. Since I'm on television 8 hours a week, I don't think that I should take too much time on this program tonight. I'm delighted to fill in for Sammy. So what I've decided to do is just ask some people that I enjoy. These are friends of mine. Some of them have been with me on my show. And I think you're going to have a delightful time tonight. We have Mr. Don Allen with us, who is not really a magician. He does strange, silly things that you will see. We have Miss Diahann Carroll, probably one of the fine, fine musicians of all times, I think. Tony Mottola. Joan Rivers, who's a strange gal. Mr. Mickey Rooney and Bobby Van will be with us, so I think you'll have a nice time. Stay where you are, and we'll be right back. A couple of years ago, our next guest starred in a Broadway musical. She sang a song called The Sweetest Sounds. Now, in the show, it was a love song, but it could have just as well have been a description of this young lady's voice. Because I think some of the sweetest sounds you'll ever hear come from the lovely and talented Miss Diahann Carroll.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another meadow. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow. There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine. Oh, listen, Lord, if you want to know.